I can't hear it. Right. Turn it on. Talking to the mic.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join in prayer or meditation, as I say, bless this food to our youth and us to thy service. Amen.
Bill, can you grab the money?
We have a special treat today. Alan's not here. So
we can't get out.
Grab all the money.
The money? Yeah.
Oh, you have a song for
Yeah, we're gonna sing My Country 'Tis a Day. Okay. Evan does it. We used to sing it every week.
Yeah.
My country is the big sweet land of the ice cream. Land where my fathers died, land of the hill and fried from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
All right, that worked out, so nice.
You sing below me. I'm all over the place.
We don't have a guest speaker. We do have a guest again, Jason Redstein, hopefully sitting there. And Diane Ron here today.
Hey. Hey, Diane.
Good to see you. Everybody get a card for the fire game that wants.
Oh.
Count the money.
No, I can get a card.
All right.
Whoa.
There's still some cards up here. Let's do the happy dollars first then. Anyone have happy dollars? Dollar card. Bill?
I shouldn't be happy, but I am happy that you've assigned me the Honorable Sergeant at Arms assignment. But I took it on the agreement that I would with someone. So I'm looking for a co-sergeant at arms to arrive early with me in cold weather and sunny days, to put out the sign, put out the badges, set up the Zoom, and just have a jolly good time before the club arrives. So if you'd like to work with me, it would be great. If you don't want to work with me, I understand. That's $5 worth of happiness.
All right, thanks, Bill, for accepting the position, and we'll find somebody to help you. Anyone else?
I'd like to put in $10. I got to go see the eclipse last week.
Oh, wow.
The totality, I went up to the Banks of St. Lawrence Seaway, largely because 3 other buddies, who I hadn't seen in 40 years, were there. So we had a very nice party, and I can tell you, after 40 years, if you haven't seen someone for 40 years, they probably remember in excruciating detail every bonehead move you've seen in your 20s. So that was mine. It was a humbling trip, but it was really fun.
Anyone else have some dollars for the club?
I'm giving $5 because Bill took over my job. Thank you.
Thanks for doing
And
it.
I'll be with you, Bill.
Ken,
Thank you,
thanks
Ken.
for doing it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Will you sergeant at arms? Yeah.
Bill?
Yes, I've got $5. You guys.
You get a gun with that, don't you?
As long as I'm paid for it, you have to.
You get a gun with that, don't you?
I want to talk about my grandson again. Yesterday.
Get away. Gun.
Official welcome party.
Joke, it's a joke.
Prime Minister.
Done.
It's an honor to be, selected to do that again. So, well,
How much you get?
How much, Bill?
Anyone else have any dollars? I guess this week I have some happy dollars and some not so happy dollars. First of all, I'll give $5 happy because I'm happy that Diane's here.
Hey,
Yeah.
Continue to come to the meetings, and it's always good to see you.
Diane, get a meal.
Last week I was very happy, extremely happy, maybe overjoyed because I've had surgery and
Right.
doing very well, and I do continue to do well, but actually this week I'm a little bit unhappy. And I'll tell you why.
You got the bill.
No, I was off last week for recuperation, and I had some time to think, and I said, it's time to get the ball rolling on some of these home improvement projects that I was putting on, so. One thing I need to have done is, I have a big front porch, and it has a wooden floor on it. Every 10 years or so, I have to have the floor replaced, because the wood they make nowadays is as good as the old stuff, it rots out. No matter how often you paint it and prime it and all that, I've had it replaced 2 or 3 times since I lived in the house, so I finally decided I was gonna go with something like Trex. It's an artificial, composite. It looks like wood, but it's guaranteed not to rot. So last Friday, I met with my contractor, and he came by the house and helped me fill out some paperwork, and I took it down to town hall and met with some officials that shall remain nameless. Anyway, they told me that because I live in the historic district, to change the materials, I was going to be required to submit myself to the historic review board. And I hope I wasn't in any hurry to get the work started, because the next available meeting was June 18th, over 2 months away. And then they said, and we're gonna need a check for $500. I said, $500? What happened to the good old days when people could do anything they wanted to make there? They said, well, that's why we have $1,000 fine now. So. Anyway, I was gonna ask for my $50 happy dollars from last week back.
No can do, sorry.
that's funny.
Anyway, I give 5 very unhappy dollars.
We have a GoFundMe for you?
5 happy dollars and 5 unhappy dollars.
No. They don't cancel out.
No. $10. All right, I think Bill Murphy's gonna read the proclamation that the county gave last. I wasn't able to attend the meeting, but I think we had a good turnout. Bill Payne's done around a beautiful photograph.
We were in the paper. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Not only that, if you log on to that DP, it's the first thing you see
Right.
Yeah.
Got the top of the page on that piece.
for everybody, the whole district.
Yeah. So Bill, if you'd like to.
Who put that in? That.
I did.
Did you? Well, before we go on, in case you haven't noticed, I just want to point out to everybody that I still take teams all over. So you don't have to sit there and wonder, what's wrong with him? They have a full shirt.
You look good in everything you do.
I'm gonna read this without the microphone. No, I don't think so. Everybody here, okay? Yeah. We had a very good time last week at the supervisor meeting. We were afraid for a little bit we'd be there at 11 o'clock, but we managed to, thanks to Bill, we managed to ease out before we're done. But, we got a real nice proclamation, and we have it on a plaque here. Yeah, but I'm just gonna read it. Have you ever heard these things before? They are words, so just kind of relax.
Put it to sleep.
You only have 50 minutes.
That's my 5 minute stand up. Okay, proclamation. Whereas the Rotary Club of Cape Charles duly formed 15 May 1924, principle of service above self has served the community of Cape Charles for 100 years. And whereas in the 10 decades since then, the club and its Rotarians have been committed to their 5 avenues of service: club, vocational, community, international, and youth. And whereas since its inception, the Cape Charles Youth Garden has helped young residents learn the science and skills of vegetable gardening. And whereas through the club's fundraising efforts, spearheaded by its biannual crab cake sales, financial grants are given to local organizations serving the health, humanitarian, and educational needs of the community. Additionally, contributions to Rotary International's partnership with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to eradicate polio have exceeded 30,000 over the life of the club. And whereas the club has fostered the development of interact Rotary clubs at both Broadwater Academy and Rockingham High School, we both contributing to their academic communities and fundraising for the fight against polio. In addition, the club has been an ardent supporter of the elementary school with special focus on less fortunate students. And whereas the Rotary Club of Cape Charles helped contribute to the town's image of inclusion and diversity through its walking tour of the invisible history of African Americans in the Cape Charles project that will help complete the historical account of the town that excluded the African American segment of the population that helped build Cape Charles and contributed to its development and progress. And whereas Northampton County and our residents are grateful for the Rotary Club of Cape Charles' 100 years of service, and thank the club and its Rotarians, past and present, for their role in building a stronger Northampton County. Now, therefore, I, Betsy Knapp, Chair of the Northampton County Board of Supervisors, hereby do proclaim May 15, 2024 as the Rotary Club of Cape Charles 100th Anniversary Day, adopted this 9th day of April 2024. Well, by the way, Walter was supposed to be just pop out. So anyway, much for the rules meeting.
No, you did a great job, Bill.
I got all of it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Bill. Thanks to everyone that attended the meeting. We had a board meeting last week and I have a few announcements. Does anybody have any announcements they would like to make first? All right. We have had a couple members resign. I'm sorry to say Malcolm resigned about a month ago. He said he couldn't hear anything at the meeting. And then Randy Diamond resigned. I'm not sure why. I don't talk to Randy. Sorry to see him go. He's been club secretary and was active on the 100th anniversary committee. So, see Randy, tell him we're sorry that he had to resign from the club. Does anybody talk to Randy or? All right. Now, like I said, hopefully Jason will be a new member in a week or two. So. Great. Yeah. The board voted last week to donate $375 to the Cape Charles Sailing Camp. That's going to fund a scholarship for one student to attend the camp for a week. So, I want to let everybody know that. We decided that instead of having a spring raffle as a fundraiser, we're going to have a 50-50 raffle in conjunction with the 100th anniversary celebration. We'll probably sell some tickets beforehand, but we'll have them at the event, have them available for people to buy at the 100th anniversary celebration. And Katie said that this year, for our next crab cake sale, she wants to up the number of crab cakes to 2,000. I think last year we made 1,700. Last 2 years. So she thinks we can sell more, and hopefully she's right. So she'll be in charge of it.
Same price?
She was talking about raising the price. I don't know if we talked anything on that. Paul, do you know?
No, I haven't heard you talk about that.
So I touched base with Bruce Edmonds, and he was in Costa Rica on vacation. He said he would get back to me this week, but he hasn't got back. Okay. To discuss.
I would say the price will depend on how much the crab meat costs.
All right. And then Jim Rich is working on our district grant. We talked about that a little bit. If you'd like to show. club on what's going on?
It looks as though we will very quickly be applying for, $7,000, well, for a total of at least $14,000. 7,000, to wrap this bookmobile that the students at Northampton High School are building, refurbishing, in the, tech classes. Plus, we'll put in another $7,000 for books. And then we are going to have book drives, I say multiple because we probably need to involve the Interact Club. And, so I hope that sounds acceptable to everyone. Very good. The deadline's May 3rd, so I gotta get right.
Is there an opportunity for sweat equity?
Yeah, I said there's almost a requirement because
yeah.
now it's not required, but the fact is, if the whole application process has become much more competitive than it was 5 years ago. And so, and one of the things that they look for is sweat equity. So that's really the purpose of the book drives right now. We'll see. I have not yet seen any opportunities to really work on the bus. So I think the book drives are gonna be the way to go, but in fact, we should talk, because you've got some good experience with these kinds of, these grants, so.
So does Paul.
Okay.
No, actually, I don't. Bill Murphy does though. I
What
think.
about pass the buck?
Don't you?
Beach all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But thank you.
All right, thanks, Jim, for heading that up. I think the last couple of years, we sure missed out on the district grants, so hopefully we'll get approved for it. Thanks.
Are we the lead club?
Yes. Yeah, so we'll make sure it gets turned in on time. We've been working on a new finance module for the club, and I think Paul's been, how's that going, Paul? Is that up and running?
Yeah.
So,
It is up and running and I've done quite a bit of work on it. It's a little more involved than I had anticipated actually. But I have set up our check account on it. It's not an easy process just to figure out how to record a check or and a deposit, but I finally figured all that out, and I've started at the beginning of this month. So that our fourth quarter of this fiscal year will be in that. And I'm gonna do duplicate bookkeeping. I'm gonna do it the way I've been doing it and on that. And then hopefully, once we get all the bugs worked out, start the next fiscal year totally on that finance module. To figure out how to send out the invoices wasn't simple either. And I've been working on it, reading and listening to videos and reading all their instructions, which is all pretty complicated. But I think I'm close to being able to send out the invoices. I hope to and do that this week. And now I'll just warn you, your invoices are gonna look totally different than how they've looked in the past. They're gonna, first of all, they're gonna come from, I don't know where it says they come from. That DB sends them out. So it won't be from a source that you recognize, and I hope you all get them and it doesn't go into your trash. So if you get something from, it looks like it might be from a Rotary source or DAC or something like that, please look at it. And the invoice itself will look totally different from what you've seen before. And of course, I anticipate there'll be some bugs in the changeover. So if there's an error on it, don't hesitate, or if something you don't understand, don't hesitate to send me an email.
Watch your junk mail.
Yeah, look at your, maybe look at your spam in the next week or so. If you don't see something that comes like this. Um, so look for that. The other thing I want to mention is totally different, announcement, but I've given this little talk before, basically scolding the members for what they order. But the last 2 weeks, we've sort of broken the budget again. 2 weeks ago, I always calculate what our cost per meal is. And two weeks ago, it was $17.15 a meal. Last week, it was $15.44 a meal. Our budget is calculated on $14 per meal. Now, that means that, you know, the average meal costs a certain number, and then we add a 14% tip to that. And that should average $14 if we're gonna stay within our budget. Now, the thing is that most people keep their costs under $14. There's a few people that have been ordering brisket. If you order a sliced brisket or a sliced brisket sandwich, you're getting up to just that item itself costs $13.50, something in that range. And then, and a side, an average side is $3.50, and our drinks are now $2.75. So if you add all that together and then put a 14% tip on it, you're up around $20. And keep in mind, one of our mottos, which is it fair to all concerned? And if a few people are getting a meal that costs $20 and everybody else is getting a meal that costs less than $14, and that means we have to go up on dues we'll start next fiscal year. That's not really fair to all concerned. So try to keep your main item to one of the things that costs $10 or less. And then, a small side, there's no choice about the drink anymore. I think that was a business decision to go up to just large drinks, which adds another $1 or $1.50 to each meal. So we just have to do that.
Including water, if you get water, they're charging $2.75 for water.
No, the water, I don't know if they're charging for that now or not.
They were at one time, but they didn't today, so maybe.
Well, they didn't charge Dolores for hers, I don't know. We'll see. I'll look at the bill and see. So, any questions? Right.
All right, thanks, Paul. We've been working hard on finances. That reminds me, Paul agreed to step back into the treasurer's role temporarily, so if we have anyone that's interested in learning how to become treasurer, let us know. And also Dolores has found it necessary to resign as secretary. She's agreed to stay on until she can find somebody, hopefully, but it'll take too long. But if we have anyone that may be interested in becoming club secretary, let me know. All right, the other thing I had mentioned, we're working on a new club website. It's almost ready and it's gonna be beautiful, but Katie's been heading that up and I guess she's been busy, so she told me she had gotten a summons for jury duty in Norfolk this week, so I called yesterday to see if she was gonna go over there, so I don't know if she got called over. But anyway, we should definitely have the new website up before the 100th anniversary. And then I don't know if we should talk about this, but John Burgess had made a suggestion. He's got some points with the Rotary Foundation and would like to donate those to designate some people as Paul Harris Fellows. One of them is John Coker, and another one is Adam Charney, Mayor Pete Charles, and then the other one I don't know. Can't remember his name. It has something to do with donating a lot of money to open the YMCA. Anyway, John felt that all these people were worthy of getting Paul Harris Fellow. I don't know if anybody would object to doing that. If anybody have any comments on it?
So let me make a comment. Anybody that has points, at least 1,000 points, can designate those points, anybody. So, like, I gave 1,000 points to my wife and gave her Paul Harris Fellow. Exmoor in Onancock, they give out Paul Harris Fellows to people in the community, like the Denniston. So what John is saying is a great idea. And, I think the big thing he wants to do is recognize those 3 people at our 100th anniversary, thing in the evening. So, but I told him I was going to talk today, and I will tell him, he has the form. It's a simple form, and he has the points. Again, I will tell you, need to go on My Rotary and see what you have, your individual contributions that only you have. I know how many points that you have available. But it's pretty easy to figure out. If you're Paul Harris +2 and you haven't done anything with your points, you got 3,000 points. So you can get those. They are not, if you pass away, they die. All those points die. I got over 10,000 points. And the club has over 14,000 points. So that's what we ought to do, is give them out to deserving people. So I'm all for John Burris.
Yeah, I agree. And adding on to that, if anybody else in the club has an idea of somebody in the community that we ought to recognize at our 100th anniversary celebration, which is what John wants to do with these folks, try to encourage them to come to that, then make that suggestion tomorrow, and he can bring it up to the board, and the board can approve to use. I mean, if we have 14,000 points, we could make 14 people Paul Harris Fellows.
We're gonna have less than 14,000 here because, that's not.
Well, that's right, because we're matching.
We're matching, and I imagine we're gonna probably do at least 2,000 points, so.
But if we want to hand out 10 Paul Harris Fellows at our 100th anniversary, we can certainly do that. So if you feel like there's a deserving individual in town, bring that up to Mark, and he'll bring it up to the board.
So how do we points that up?
Well, normally every dollar you contribute to the Rotary Foundation, you get a point for. And
All right.
it accumulates over the years.
So you get your full Harris, but then you've got points as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I do have some, Paul Harris Fellow pins for some of the club members here, but I was waiting. Since we're so close to the 100th anniversary celebration, I'm gonna hold it until then. And give them out. Ralph Dodd, I have one for you. A couple other members, so. Yeah, if you have anybody you'd like to nominate, become a Paul Harris Fellow, let me know, or we'll know. As soon as possible. It takes a while to get it all into the Rotary Foundation and have them send us the pins and that kind of thing, so. I think that was all I had this week. Don't forget, we are looking for new members. If you have anybody in mind, invite them to the meeting. And I don't know if any of you know Eric, that was here last week as a guest speaker, but he said his father was a Rotarian. He had benefited from Rotary in the past, so potential new members. So I'll talk to him, but if anybody else knows him, let him know. We'd be glad to have him as a member. Anybody else have anything to do with Rotary? Oh, card thing.
All right.
We have a high card today.
Well, collected $23.
$23.
I'd like to know, did anybody have the?
The mouth of the phone.
But he that today.
He's got a club.
He's got a heart.
Brown, you had that?
Yeah, but a hot,
All right. Come on over here and we'll get you pull out that decision. The clean part.
So.
Off to the crowd.
I mean, yeah.
See you for the dinner?
Okay, so you got the rest, all right.
Five of hearts.
Oh, Sorry,
Graham,
Graham.
Graham,
Graham, you got
$6.
Oh.
And
Here's some of
5
it.
for the pump.
All right, let's all stand and say the four-way count.
The truth is
Spirit all concerned, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will we have fun?
Yeah.
Right.